Welcome back, degenerates, to Place Your Bets. I'm Tyler James, back from Ireland and in my home studio. He's the one and only Eric Hansen. Together we cover Notre Dame football, recruiting, and more for InsideNDSports.com on the Rivals Network. And we like to make prop bets about Notre Dame football. Eric, I'm surprised the smile isn't a little bit bigger on your face after you nailed all 5 of our official Place Your Bets prop bets last week. I only got 3 right with a whiff on my wild card. I missed that. I had picked Chris Tyree for first touchdown and JD Bertrand for too many tackles. How do you feel about your performance last week?
I feel better about my performance than you did about almost saying place your butts.
Well, we're not putting anyone's butt on the line, but if anyone, we do have stakes this year. If you missed our announcement last week, we're holding a contest for Inside Indie Sports subscribers to participate in our Place Your Bets competition this season. The first place finisher gets a year added onto their subscription for free, and second place gets 6 months. After the first week, no one's ahead of Eric, but we have 5 subscribers tied for first place with 4 correct answers, including We Are ND, Jeff RNR, and Scott Clarisy. There's a long way to go, though, so if you want to join and miss last week, you can still catch up. Make sure you make your submissions through the link that we provide on the Insider Lounge. Now, let's get to this week's prop bets for Notre Dame, Tennessee State. First one I have for us, Eric, is over under 262.5 rushing yards for Notre Dame.
I tried a lot of different scenarios to get to that number. And I think it's achievable, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Notre Dame's offense is going to be too balanced. I looked at how Tennessee State did against FBS team Middle Tennessee last year. They gave up almost that much rushing yards, and rushing defense isn't their stronger part of their defense. But I just think, again, with maybe the new clock rules with Notre Dame wanting to get some passing into this game, that we won't have the imbalance to get to that number.
Yeah, I'm going under as well. Notre Dame rushed for more yards on 4 occasions last season. Tennessee State allowed more than that only once. I believe the season high they allowed was 310 yards. I just think that Sam Hartman in the passing game will take up too much of the yardage. I do think there's going to be plenty of yardage to be had for Notre Dame's offense, but I'm not sure that the combination of the early passing game and then I do think that some of the backups will get some passing opportunities as well. So I just don't think that Notre Dame's going to sit on the football and run it for the better part of 3 quarters or anything like that. So I do think that this will go under. But I do think the rushing game will be effective, but I don't necessarily be leaned on completely. Next I have for us, will Notre Dame's Bryce McFerson punt?
I'm going to say yes. He didn't punt last week. I don't think he'll punt a lot, but I think maybe toward the end of the game there might be a 3 and out with some of the reserves in, and he'll have to come in and punt. So yes for me.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there.
Well, I would be too if I didn't get all the answers right last week.
Yeah. I got to go second. So once you got 5 last week, I might as well just say everything you say. Like you said, he didn't punt against Navy. I think he'll get a chance probably in the second half to punt against Tennessee State, but it certainly wouldn't be a surprise if he was able to stay on the bench once again and wait to make his in-game punting debut for Notre Dame for another week. But I'm going to predict that he will get his first punt this week. All right, next one I have for us is over under 1.5 turnovers for ND's defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee State had more than 1 turnover. I think maybe 1 might come in the special teams game. Got to remember, the one thing Tennessee State did very well last year was turnover margin. They were 14th in the FBS or FCS. So I'm going to go under on this one.
All right, well, I'm going the other way. I'm going over. Notre Dame nearly had a couple last week, and I think that's been a big focus after not getting that sort of turnover rate that the defense wanted last season. And I think there will still be opportunities to do that again this week against Tennessee State. So I am taking the over. All right, next one. Will Tennessee State score a touchdown?
I'm going to say no.
All right, I'm right there.
They weren't a very good offense last year. They got a lot of people back, but I just don't think they're going to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm there with you. That will indicate a little bit about what our score predictions will be later on here. But yeah, I just don't think they're going to have enough firepower to score against Notre Dame. And even if Notre Dame is playing some backups, I do think that they will have enough talent out there to slow down Tennessee State's offense, which wasn't that powerful last season. All right, next one. Over under 5.5 passes for Notre Dame quarterback Steve Angeli.
I'm going to go under. I think if there are more than 5 passes thrown by reserves, I think Kenny Minchie will have gotten into the game at that point. So under for me.
Yeah, I'm going under as well. I think 5 is like the number that I think you would hit. I was going back and forth in my head about whether I wanted to put this line at 4.5 or 5.5. But I'm going to go under. I think it's going to be close, but it's been so long since we've seen a Notre Dame quarterback in as a backup throw so many passes. So I'm just not going to be willing to predict that blindly that it'll get to the 6 or more level. So I'm going under as well. All right, next one for fun. How many walk-ons will see the field for Notre Dame?
This is tough because there weren't a lot that got into the game in Ireland. I think Notre Dame listed 2. I want to say there were 3. I thought Chase Kitterer got in, but I may have been mistaken about that. But they have a lot more on the sideline that could possibly get in. They didn't take all the walk-ons to Ireland. But even then, I start going through my mind. I think, okay, Marty Auer, Dylan Devison, maybe Chase Ketterer, and then maybe Jordan Faison and Luke Talich. So no more than 5. I'm going to say 5.
All right. So I looked last year against Boston College. They had 7 play. And I think that is sort of comparable, although like Boston College is towards the end of the year. So you get some of those seniors in the game that maybe haven't played even throughout like their whole career. So I don't know if it'll get like that, but I'm going big here. I'm going 9. I think there's enough guys that they can get in the game. You mentioned a few of them. Skip Velota is one that I don't think you mentioned. I think you get in the game. Justin Fisher, Chase Dixon, Isaiah Dunn. There's a number of guys. Kobe Onyoke, I'm not sure how to say his last name. Some guys that I think have played decently in practices that could get some reps. Maybe it's just on special teams. Maybe it's very late in the fourth quarter. But I think we're going to get to see a lot of walk-ons get some opportunities if the score is as lopsided as
don't count on it if it's going to be on the punt team.
Yeah, that's true. But kickoff team, you could put. I mean, I think they're going to have plenty of opportunities to kick off, so they don't want to get guys too tired from running down the field on kickoff 10 times this game. But I'm going with 9 walk-ons getting some action.
Okay, how do we grade that then? Do you have to be exactly right, or you don't get the point for that?
Well, it's for fun.
Or is it like the Price is Right? Oh, I see.
For fun, I want to throw in one. I'm throwing one question in each week that.
This is the fun question. They were all fun for me last week. Okay, this is the fun one.
Okay. All right.
Well, I have to get this in now before I start getting stuff wrong.
All right. Yeah, I know we got an email earlier from a subscriber that said, "Hey, are we allowed to trash talk?"
I saw you say yes. We encourage it, so I'm whooping it up.
Yeah. All right, last one we got. Final score prediction for Notre Dame, Tennessee State.
I went Notre Dame 52 and Tennessee State 6, and that's not a touchdown. That's either 2 field goals or 3 safeties. But I'll say 2 field goals.
All right, yeah. I think it's probably more likely 2 field goals than 3 safeties unless they're punting a lot and they're having a lot of bad.
Unless they're playing Iowa. Only Iowa can get 6 points from 3 safeties.
I have Notre Dame 56, Tennessee State 0. I'm not sure the last time or if I've ever picked an opponent to score 0 points. So congratulations, Tennessee State. You have won that honor. I just don't think this is going to be a very competitive game. I think Tennessee State's most impressive performance will probably come at halftime with the man on the field. So I think this is going to be a rout for Notre Dame and another easy victory for the Irish with their second game of the season. All right, that'll do it for Place Your Bets. Make sure you hit the like button, comment your predictions for the game below, and subscribe to us here on YouTube. We'll be back after the game for our post-game takeaways, and may the odds be ever in your favor.